Hi, I'm Jessie with the Lisa Abbott Team. By now you've likely seen the headlines or heard things about the market shifting or being down 20 or 40% in certain areas.
Sales of homes in the region
and sales
were
numbers
down by
plummeted
41%
in the month of April.
But what's actually happening? In today's video, we're going to look at exactly what is happening in the Durham Region real estate market and what that means for you. I'm not going to talk too much about whether you should buy first or sell first in this video because I made a whole video on that last week. As the market changes, your strategy really needs to change with it, so go ahead and watch that video after you're done watching this one. And please like and subscribe to our channel so you're always up to date on what's going on and don't miss any videos. If you watch these videos and still have questions about the market or your situation, I always include a link to our calendar below where you can book a home buying or selling consultation or just a call to get your questions answered with Lisa or myself. And it's free, so check it out. Let's clear up what you're seeing in the headlines right now. Home sales are down 21% in Durham Region from March of this year. Now this is true, but some people are missing one key thing, and it's that we're talking about home sales. The number of transactions, not the home prices themselves. Yes, home prices are down too, but only by roughly 6% from last month, and we'll look more into that in a minute. If you look at years past in real estate, typically the spring is when the market and sales start to pick up, hence the spring market. But what we saw this year was that the sales never really died down in December, January, and February like they have in previous years. We actually saw huge growth in terms of sale prices, and the spring market seemed to have come a little bit early this year. Now we're seeing the market cool down, and the war and interest rates and the recent announcement for the federal budget have all had a little bit of an effect as well. But last year, Durham Region saw 1,771 transactions in April, which is the most transactions we've seen in that month since at least 2015. So for Durham Region to be down 28% from April of last year isn't as big of a deal as some media outlets would have you believe. And being down 21% month over month makes a little bit more sense when you consider the volume we did December, January, and February. And since then, the market has shifted, and people who have listed their homes in March, April, and now May might have higher price expectations than the current market is willing to support, which also contributes to why the actual number of transactions is down so much. Because a lot of people are listing their homes with a price in mind, but they're simply not getting the activity or offers that they were expecting. So their home is not selling and is either going through price reductions or they're relisting their property with a different strategy and changes made. When we look at the number of homes being listed for sale in Durham Region, we're actually only down about 5%. But the number of homes that have actually sold is down much more. The sales to new listing ratio has been dropping quickly since February. Typically anywhere between 40 to 60% is a more balanced market, with anything below 40% favoring buyers and anything above 60% favoring sellers. February was at a whopping 69%, and April is only at 46% now. But these numbers really just reflect what we're seeing in the market, which is buyers having a lot more choice, homes being listed but not selling, less showings being booked, less offers, less competition, and offers with conditions on inspection and financing are coming back around again. And with all that back and forth, negotiating is becoming so much more important again. So now we understand the headlines about the number of transactions being down. Let's take a look at where the prices are at and how they've been affected. In Durham Region, prices are down about 6% from March to April, and they were also down about 6% from February to March. So in total, we're down roughly 12% from the peak of the market in February. If you take a little bit of a deeper look at the stats for Durham Region, everything was down about the same, but what has really stood out is that in Durham Region, semis have gone down 11% just from March to April. Links were also down about 12%, but there were only 12 link style homes that sold, so we're not reading into that one too much yet because one or two can really skew the data. But a semi-detached in Durham Region being down 11% is very interesting, but also kind of makes sense. During the peak of the market in February and going into March, we were seeing some of the semi-detached sales that were right on the heels of the price point of detached properties. One example I can think of off the top of my head was a semi that had 2 kitchens, wasn't a legal 2-unit or anything like that, but it did have 2 kitchens, and it sold for $931,000. and a detached home listed around the same time in the same area with a garage and the same level of finishes as the semi, and that only sold for $950,000. So some prices for semis were getting really hard for buyers to justify. And unfortunately, you can always add the kitchen into the detached, but you can't detach the semi. Since February, the average sale price of a semi-detached has dropped $200,000 in Durham Region. Now, depending on the area, semi-detached homes might actually be a great place to look for opportunities, as the prices are down quite a bit compared to detached and townhomes. Now, if you're wondering why townhomes haven't taken quite the hit that semis have, in Durham Region, many of the townhomes are a lot newer. Many of them have garages, were designed and sold as luxury units with high-end finishes, and have square footage that rivals or surpasses a lot of the older semis available. Condo apartment and condo townhomes haven't taken as much of a hit because they are that entry-level product for buyers. And entry-level is always going to have a lot of demand. Moving forward in this market, unless the property is extremely unique and really hard to find comparables for, you really can't be using February sale prices to guide you. And this goes for both buyers trying to find the right price for their offers and sellers who are looking to price their home correctly for the market. Expectations have to be adjusted on both sides. You really need to be looking at the most recent sales possible. And if you're selling, you need to know what other homes are on the market that yours is competing with. And ask yourself, how does your home compare to theirs? And is it reflected in the price and your expectations? Understand that there are certain upgrades that you can make that will increase the value of your home, and other upgrades that are just for your enjoyment and to your tastes. But with the latter, a potential buyer might not be seeing an increased value based on those things. It's like kitchen upgrades versus backyard landscaping, right? Most buyers are going to see value in an updated kitchen, whereas not every buyer is going to see a value added for landscaping in the backyard. And if you are investing money in your home to get it ready for sale, you want to make sure that those funds are being allocated in all the right places and that it's going to attract and appeal to the highest amount of buyers possible. Also, it's important to know that there are certain upgrades that really just bring your home up to par with the other homes that are available, like replacing a broken furnace or a broken window or fixing a leaky roof. Now, these might not be a big value add for buyers, but without those upgrades, you can't expect to sell for the same amount of money that your neighbor would with none of those issues. I hope you found this helpful, and if you have any specific questions about your home or upgrades to do or not to do, or even just want to talk about the market in general, you can reach out to me anytime. The link is in the description to book a call. Thanks for watching.